preparations, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So when you're working, you're songwriting, and you're recording the vocal, everyone says bye.
Yep.
How soon are you working back on that production?
It depends on the type of song. If it's the type of song that it's just like, if it needs some thought, I'll try to like step away for a day and come back to it. Most of the time, I give everybody a day one bounce no matter where it's at, because I do believe people should be able to walk away with their intellectual property. Yeah. Although it does kind of paint you in a hole sometimes if the artist has really bad demoitis.
Yeah.
So that it's like you play your cards a little bit. I try to get as far as I can the day of. Like the core of the song should sound like what it's going to sound like.
Right.
I'm like a bit of a hybrid between two programs. Yeah. So I try to start in Ableton. I end up in Pro Tools.
Same.
So yeah, it's the classic combo.
Have you started using Link yet?
Oh yeah, dude. I have a script with SoundFlow that lets me shoot stuff back and forth. Like I keep both open at all times.
We were going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I keep both open. I try to like make sure like if we're doing it, I invested in like a pretty good chain at my spot so that like when they hop in the booth, even if they think it's like a rough, 9 times out of 10, it's hard to beat that day one magic. So I'm like, yeah, I know you could do it on the SM7 on the couch, but just hop in. I got you.
I try to like hide my SM7.
Yeah.
And I'm really adamant about people being like, can I just put on the SM7? I'm like, well, the mic's literally right there.
Totally.
It's 2 feet away from you.
Dude, I bought a 47 in the room. That's my functional talkback mic for when people refuse to go in the booth. I'm like, okay, well, instead, let me at least swing this other really nice mic in front of you.
Right.
Just quickly. Because at the very least, I want good vocals to work with. Yeah.
And it's just like, it makes our job easier. And again, this is a running theme on the podcast where everyone talks about having that good vocal chain, not only because we want things to sound expensive, but it enables us to work faster.
100%. Yeah.
And we can get those day one bounces to the songwriters or the artists that much faster.
Exactly.
And that's also part of the key of why I don't want you to record on the SM7.
100%.
Because then I have to like work to make that sound good.
Yeah.
And that slows me down.
100%, dude.
It's a whole thing. So what's your vocal chain right now? What are you working with?
The hardware chain I'm recording into usually is a Telefunken 251, into a TG2, into a CO1B.
Nice.
And then I have like I have a Lynx that I record through, and I try to convert on the way in with a Burl.
Yeah, that's the Burl's the best thing.
It's just the way to do it, honestly. Yeah.
What I say about the Burl when people ask me like, you like it? I'm like, it makes everything sound expensive.
Yeah, it really does.
It just sounds good. And when everything is going through that, it's just like, again, it's just the speed thing. Everything is just easier to mix.
Yeah, it's just way easier.
Yeah, I kind of compare it to like, recording through a console.
Yeah, 100%.
Where it's like everything is hitting the same thing and they just meld together a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I got this Lynx for the converters specifically, and it's great. I noticed this thing, especially with like the TG2 251 combo with the top end a little bit. Like the mid-range is unrivaled in my opinion. But you can get this thing where it feels a little bit sterile in the top end when like it's immaculate conversion, like without the coloration that something like, that's why I got the Burl. Yeah. Is just to get like more coloration on the way in, honestly.
It's so good, that thing. And so like day one, like are you like doing like a quick comp day?
I refuse to send anything that's not comped. Okay. Yeah. My main production mentor was a dude named John Levine. Who I've done a lot of my bigger songs with in the past, and he taught me how to comp properly, like not on some like young kid stuff.
No, but that's the most important thing I think for pop producers to know how to do.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought I was doing a good job until like I had like a real pro show me how to do it and like critique my work too. Yeah, that changed my life single-handedly, to be honest. Because even aside from the thing of like, oh, I want to be able to comp good, it's like, no, if I don't do this, I feel like it sounds bad.
No, it's horrible. And then, like what you kind of saying before with demoitis is that people can get attached to something just purely based out of familiarity.
Yes.
Not because it's better or worse, just
100%.
because they got used to how it sounds.
Sure, 100%.
And if you, I'm the same way. I refuse to send an uncomped vocal. Yeah. I only will if it's like the rare case where it's like, okay, you got to get out of here in 20 minutes and like, cool. Then I actually will record on the SM7. Sure. Where it's like, we're going to do this.
We have to do this again,
in 2 takes, and we're going to have to.
Yeah.
You know what 100%. I mean? So that's like kind of the trickery behind it. And are you comping that vocal like once everyone's gone? Or are you doing it in the room really quickly?
Depends on who it is. Some people, I'm like, I can tell that I'm going to want to dig into this. So like, let me send you a bounce in like 3 hours.
Cool.
And then I'll just knock it out and make a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I try to get like a pretty decent comp going before we do backgrounds.
Okay.
Because to stack something that's not going to stay the same can be a little bit counterproductive at times too. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, just like there's a backyard area, go like smoke or have a drink or have something, chill a little bit. Let's talk while I do this.
Damn, I gotta kick people out.
Dude, I will kick people out.
That's the way to do it.
Well, dude, I find that people can get really insecure when they hear their raw takes.
Yeah.
Fast too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, just maybe like go chill for like a little bit while I do this.
Well, it's even with me, it's very selfishly. I like in any situation, I don't like someone looking over my shoulder.
Sure.
And like doing the thing where if someone has notes about the comp that I did for them, I would redo that comp a million times.
Sure.
For you. But like, I just like, I can't.
While we're doing it.
I get very irritated.
Sure.
And it's like, again, it's like not an ego thing. I'm just like, cause I don't know. I think it's like I'm in a workflow and now you're disrupting my workflow.
Yeah. So
kind of thing.
I treat my clients as if they were like to a certain extent my little cousins.
Yeah.
In the sense of like I have a 55-inch like TV as my screen, and then I have a small tiny one to the side, and I have my Switch hooked up to the screen. So sometimes I'll go in cans and be like, hey, run 2 rounds of Mario Kart.
Go have fun.
Yeah, literally. Like keep running it, and I'm going in cans on my thing, and I'm just gonna comp while you guys like rip like a circuit.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what I've done before. It's like, cool, I'll put on my headphones and I'll just do like a very quick comp of the chorus that I know it's like, okay, this is the pocket I want.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to really tune the vocal right now. I'm probably going to do it after.
Well, I find that the main issue is like all of us to a certain extent, we do have some type of like, it's not usually like actually like, or not always diagnosed ADHD, but like we all have some form of anxiety for the most part, and we all get antsy. So it just like adds to this anxiety. I have the most amount of fidgety stuff in my studio, to be honest with you. I have sparkly pillows. I have kinetic sand. I have little 8 balls and toys. I have everything to try to stimulate you.
I have Legos somewhere.
Dude, it's a real thing. I find if you just have stuff, it's like fidget spinner logic a little bit. If you have something to occupy you, you'll feel much more at ease while I'm doing something like fixing your vocals.
My theory on it is like I had Lego, I had coloring books and stuff. And because I was just basing it off how my brain works, and it's the bathroom ideas.
Yeah.
It's when you're not consciously thinking about the song, you actually come up with really great ideas.
100%.
And that's, I try and unlock that, but it's like, do something else. Occupy your mind. That's like, I'm not asking you to do a crossword puzzle where it's all you're thinking about, but just like color in that picture of, a Disney character.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, things like that. It's really, I love that thing of just like having other things in the room for people to play with.
Yeah.
So going on from that, you're getting the vocal to sound great. How are you ensuring, are you heavy on your mix bus and Fugu buses? How are you getting that balance to sound great and also loud in today's music culture?
I used to have a more complicated answer. Today's answer is Ozone 11 is amazing.
It really is.
Honestly, it's like so good. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
I try to do the least amount of bus processing in Ableton that I can because I'm usually like, I don't know. I've been trying to figure out my perfect like little workflow of like how to make stuff fidelity wise translate from Ableton to Pro Tools. So I'll just keep like an L2 on in Ableton, and then once I'm in Pro Tools, I'll like bus and group really fast. Like while I'm doing it, I have a template that's already set up. Same. Yeah, drum bus, track bus, all that good stuff. There's a couple plugins I use that really do the trick. I'm doing my best these days to kind of like, I'm getting the mix as far along as is appropriate, but I don't want to make it hard on the person who's going to mix it. Right. Which I've kind of learned is a bit of a thing, especially if I have like a crazy EQ baked in that may or may not be the most appropriate.
Yeah.
I've noticed that if I just do pretty broad strokes and make sure like I put all my effort towards tracking more so than anything, I get better mixes back.
Yeah.
Is what I noticed. So I'm trying to use like 3-4 plugins on the master max.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have a couple things on the track bus, very little on the vocal bus. I'm mainly doing like background groups and then like a lead group. And I try to keep it kind of simple because like, again, it's if you have to fix stuff, great. But the less stuff you have to fix,